Let's have a chat about skipping ropes, or as they're commonly known now, really, jump rope. Most people refer to them as jump rope. I think when I was a kid, it was a skipping rope, right? Sorry if you hear some background drilling, there's some building work going on, so hopefully it won't interfere, but if you do, that's what's going on. So, are all skipping ropes, jump ropes, I'll probably refer to them as jump ropes because that's the term most people use. Are all jump ropes equal? No. Do they essentially do the same thing? The end result, is the end result the same? Essentially, yes. So we'll start with the cheapest rope possible. This cost about £3 or £4 from Decathlon, and I own a boxing gym, which is obviously where I am now. Not everybody has their own rope, so I encourage people to buy their own ropes, and most people do. I think at one point I had about 22 of these. I think I've got 2 left, I think. So yeah, Decathlon's got it written on it. So this was about £3 or £4. Let's start with the handle. Handle's very, very small. I'm a little bit vertically challenged. I'm 5'8", so most of my ropes I have to adjust, hence the little bit sticking out. You can chop them off if they're a bit annoying, they don't bother me. You can also put knots in the rope. I tend to put knots in the rope as well if they're too long. The way you measure a rope is you put it under your foot. This is how I do it anyway. Put it under your foot, and you want the handles to basically sit about armpit height. This is a little bit short. Someone else has been using this. I've just picked it off the rack that was over there. So really it needs to be a little bit high, about there. So that just needs a knot taken out. But it's there or thereabouts. The basic rule of thumb is when you're skipping, obviously this is the part that's going to hit the floor, what you don't want it to do is to drag. Right? You don't want it to sort of drag across the floor as it hits the floor. You just want it to clip. So it's just clipping. And so you hear that clip, clip, clip. Yeah, not drag, because you're obviously, for obvious reasons, it's going to slow you down, okay? And it means it's too long. So, £3 or £4 rope from Decathlon. Does it get the job done? Can you skip with it? Yes. Is there anything wrong with it? Not really. It's going to break after a while. The biggest issue with it is, and I'll compare it to the Rush Athletics rope in a minute, is obviously when a rope spins, what it's doing is it's doing this, right? So eventually, this, look, gets brittle. I think this is about 4 or 5. It's nylon, isn't it? The width of it, 4 or 5. It's quite tight in there, so it's quite tight. So eventually, what happens is they split because it's basically being pinched by the plastic. So that's your entry-level rope. Nothing really wrong with it. I don't use them. I don't like them. I don't like skipping with them, personally. Then you go up to the Rush Athletics rope. It did have Rush Athletics written on it, but I've used it a lot. It's been used a lot. Now again, I'm vertically challenged, so look, that annoys some people. People can chop them off. It doesn't bother me. You can actually adjust these ropes. See that little plastic lug there, so you can move it forwards or backwards to your height, right? Again, that whole, put it on the floor, measure it up to your armpit. See how this one's a little bit taller than the other one? The other one was sort of down here. This one's, for me, is perfect. That's why I've got it adjusted. So if you look at the handles though, they're very different to the rope that we just had a minute ago. They're more ergonomically designed. They're nice because when you hold a skipping rope, you don't want to hold it like this because now you're tense, right? And you can't really move. You sort of want to hold it like that. So this part is in the palm of your hand, and then your thumb is sort of here, so it's nice and loose. You don't want to grip it like that. Also, going back to what I was saying about the hole, the only way to describe it, is a lot bigger on this one, so as it spins, it's not pinching itself, it's not cutting into itself. So, Rush Athletics, I would recommend this rope all day long. I've got 3 or 4 of these. This is the white rope, obviously. I think they called this. It's called a money rope, by the way. That's what they call it. It's named after Floyd Mayweather. I've got it in yellow, black, can't remember, whatever colours, doesn't matter. And it's available on their website in all different colours. I think it's about £14, £14 or £15. Is this £15 rope worth more or better, than this £3 or £4 rope from Decathlon? 100%, all day long. The feel of it's different. It's very slightly thicker. It's going to last you longer, and for 14, 15 quid, it's a great rope. I think I've had this about 2 years. So this would be my suggested type of rope to buy. Okay, Rush Athletics, brilliant company, based in the UK as well, even better. So that's your Rush Athletics rope. Now the one rope I don't have here, and I don't have it because I don't use it, is the speed rope, which is I used to use them all the time. Again, very small handle, very lightweight handle, and it's got, I don't know if it's called class as nylon, it's metal. it's got a nylon outing and a metal inner. Sometimes they're just metal on the outside. Very, 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 very thin. They're made, they clues the name speed rope. It goes whoo, 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 whoo. You get that real nice sound as you whip it over your head. Now that's great for speed because that's what it's designed for. The biggest issue I have personally with it is so you're putting something over your head, right? So you're physically skipping and something's going over your head. For me, I need to feel that thing going over my head. I need to feel that rhythm. With a speed rope, because it's so light, I feel like it feels like you're not doing anything. It feels like you're doing this, but nothing's going over your head. I don't feel massive benefit from it other than going fast. So personally, I don't use a speed rope, the thin metal speed rope, plus when it whips you, it hurts like a bitch, trust me. So personally, I don't use them, but there is that rope as well, and that is an option for people that want the speed, right? The next rope, I call this, I don't know what it's officially called. I made it up. I call this the Argos rope. Now the reason I call it the Argos rope is because it's probably from Argos, one, but this was the sort of most common type of skipping rope I think that was always around from like the 80s, 90s. It's very 90s, this design. It's got ball bearings inside it, so as it spins, you a bit like a skateboard ball bearing. I think that's pretty much what they are in there. And it obviously spins and it doesn't bite, I suppose, like the other ones do. It's okay, it does the job, it gets the job done. Do I like these? No, I think the handle's far too big. They've tried, they've done quite a good job, look, because look, again, going back to the way you hold it, I guess you put your thumb there, so, but I think this is too thick, so it feels like you feel like you have to really clasp it quite firmly. So, does it get the job done? No, 100%. Is it going to burn calories? Can you skip with it? Of course you can. Argos rope, that's what I call it. Then you come on to, so I got a lot of people go, Lee, I bought a weighted rope the other day, and they're really excited about it. I go, cool, is it weighted in the handle or is it weighted in the rope? They go, no, it's weighted in the handle. This rope is weighted in the handle and it's weighted in the rope because the rope's leather. But if you undo here, inside there are physically two big magnets. You can hear them rattling around. So you can take them out, so you can have one or none or whatever. The main focus of the goal really of the skipping rope, as I said earlier, is to get that momentum, right? To get that sort of swooshing over your head, so you got that feel. The biggest issue when you just use a rope that's just weighted in the handles is it tends to knacker your forearms. Now, skipping, jump rope, is meant to be an all-over body workout for your heart, your lungs, get your heart rate up, burn some calories, use your legs, your shoulders, everything else. If you're using something that's just weighted in the handles, it's like you're just swinging a couple of dumbbells around, because that's really where all the weight is now. So that's the only issue I have with those. This one's okay. I mean, ideally you probably want to take one of these weights out per handle, and then with the leather rope it will balance itself out a little bit. Again, it hurts like a bitch if that tissues your legs or your arms or whatever, or your backside. It's okay. I don't personally like them anymore. I used to love them. I used to be like, yeah, because you get forearm pump. But for me, yeah, but they're okay to serve a purpose. And these are old school. The reason they're still around really is it's got that old classic kind of look, retro look to it, I suppose, the colouring and stuff. Okay, now we go up a peg or two and we start talking about expensive skipping ropes, jump ropes. This is by a company called Crossrope. I don't know if you can see here. Crossrope is a great company. I'm not sponsored by them, I wish it was. They're a great company, but they are super, super expensive. But there's a fundamental reason. So these have that sort of ball bearing system inside them. That will spin for days, not days, but it will spin for a long time. As you can see, it's very silky smooth. But the beauty of these are they're interchangeable. So when you buy your ropes from Crossrope, you can buy different sets. I think the set I bought was called the cardio set or something like that, but there's different sets, I can't remember. So it comes, so you get two handles, so it's only ever going to be one rope at a time, if that makes sense. Although you've got two ropes, you've only got two handles, okay? So this is, excuse my phone got off. This is the 1/4 pound, live, when you're filming something live, right? This is the 1/4 pound rope, so it weighs 1/4 pound, this green rope. This weighs 1/2 pound, you can really see the difference in the thickness. Again, when you get hit by this, yeah. The beauty of this is the interchangeable. So you pull these little, pinch those together, pull that off, and then you can change that for the 1/2 pound rope. There you go. And now you've got another rope, a heavier rope. So It's great. It's great because you can switch that on the fly. And when you use the Crossrope app, which again is very good, it will say like you might do like 5 or 10 minutes using the £1/4 rope, and then it will say now change to the £1/2 rope, and that's when you change the rope. And then you might change back. This bad boy burns like your shoulders. You really feel the difference on this. This is really more focused on shoulders. You still get the overall workout, but it's the shoulders that really take the battery with this. But I find it quite balanced. It's not like just my shoulders hurt. The difference in price, these 2 ropes, again 2 handles, 2 ropes, £180. A lot of money, right? Is it worth £180? No. In my eyes, no. Can you tell the difference between this and a £14 rope? Yes. And it's more again about that back, about that balance, but for me it's that balance. It's so smooth, it's silky smooth when it goes over your head. This isn't breaking anytime soon. The handles are replaceable just in case you drop one or break it or whatever. I don't know how much they are, but they are replaceable. Is it worth £180? No. Is it better than an Argos rope or a Decathlon rope or a mid-range rope? Yes, but I still, even though I've got this, my default is always to go back to this type of rope. The nylon rope, the Rush Athletics type rope, all day long, because I just find the balance of it overall is better. I do use a Crossrope rope though. I do use it. I like their app. Their app's very good. So to give you an idea of their app, it's interval training. So I did a 25-minute workout this morning, and it changes up. And what I like about it is, say like when you do, because let's face it, cardio is quite boring, right? Or can be quite boring. I can't think of anything worse than sitting on an exercise bike for 25 minutes, going nowhere, and just sitting there staring at a screen or whatever. When you're jumping ropes, especially when you're using the app, you don't have to use the app because you can devise it yourself. It's high interval training that changes. So it might be, let's say it's 1 minute of boxer skip. They term different styles of skipping. So you got regular bounce, which is just a normal skipping with your 2 feet together. Boxer skip, they call off the step, scissor skip, double unders, crossovers. So it keeps you entertained because it might be 1 minute of double unders, it might be then a 30-second rest, it might then be 45 seconds of basic jump with a 20-second rest, then it might be 2 minutes of basic jump, and then and so on and so on. So you're constantly you're not just skipping for 25 minutes, and just breaking every 30 seconds. So yeah, anyway, so that's a great way of getting cardio in. I prefer that. You get a right sweat on. It's probably the equivalent. I burnt 379 calories this morning doing a 25-minute workout on the jump rope, and I just used this, by the way. So I did use a Crossrope app, but I didn't change from the £1/4 to the £1/2. I just kept it with the same rope, just find it easier. And I burnt the same amount of calories as probably going for a 5 to 6k run. That's roughly. Let's face it, if someone runs at a decent speed, they're probably going to run a 5k at, if they're fast, 25 minutes. So it's the equivalent of that, and I didn't have to go anywhere. The beauty of it is, it's sunny today, the beauty of that is I only needed a small amount of space. I needed my rope, and that's it. Put a bit of music on, job done. Anyway, I hope that helps. So let's wrap this up. Are all jump ropes, skipping ropes equal? No. Do you have to buy a super expensive £180 skipping rope to skip? No. Do what's best for you. But the one piece of advice I would give is don't buy a cheap rope, because it will disappoint you. Eventually you'll end up having to replace it anyway. This sort of thing is probably ideal. Hope that helps. Listen, I'm not pretending to be a skipping expert. I'm a boxing coach. We use skipping in boxing all the time. It's a great cardio workout, and you know what, more importantly, it's fun. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Catch you again. Take care.